This video is sponsored by AOEAH.com. Type in the code Spartans to receive a % off your order. Hey guys, RedSpartan here. So I kind of want to talk about the Summoning Necro. First, let's go give an intro to him. The Summoning Necro overall is probably one of the better characters, aside from probably a sorceress as far as beginning a season. The reason being is just so easy. Like Summoning Necro, you have so many bodies in front of you doing all the damage for you. Kind of get to sit back and just kind of cast curses on things. You can help out obviously with corpse explosion or anything like that. But overall, the Summoning Necro is both amazing in the beginning and amazing at the end. At the end, if you have all of the ideal items, you can pretty much do anything in the game. There's nothing you can't do as a Summoning Necro, really, to be honest. If you build it right. You can do Ubers. The Summoning Necro is probably top 3. Well, he's top 2, but he's in the top 3 as far as can do Ubers with ease. I would say the Summoning Necro is top 1. He would be able to. He's the best overall Ubers character, but the reason he's number 2 underneath the Smiter is because of how expensive he is, as far as how you want him to be able to do Ubers with ease. But if you have all the items, I mean, he's probably the easiest thing to do Ubers with ever. But obviously cheap is sometimes just as good as optimization, and so the Smiter is number 1. So let's go into the stats and the items and the skill tree, right? So for the stats, you're going to do, for strength, you're going to do as much as you can to carry your items. For your the rest, they're going to go into vitality if you want to try to get max block to kind of help you, because you can't really summon anything unless something's dead, and it kind of takes time to get to that point, because you're going to start with just your mercenary really doing everything and maybe a golem. So you can do that, but if not, strength to be able to wear everything, and then the rest in vitality. Now, if we're going to talk about items, I'm going to talk about each item as is, and then from there we'll talk about other things you could do as you're leveling up. Find best in slot kind of situations. So the best overall would be Beast. Beast is amazing for Summoning Necro because of Fanaticism. Fanaticism is an amazing thing to have for a bunch of summons. It's just overall probably the best thing you could have on a Summoning Necro. Nothing else really compares. But if you don't have that, Spirit plus the skills, Spirit gives resistances, it gives defense against missiles, all that stuff like that. So overall, Spirit. If you can't get a Spirit, the Arm of Leoric is a really good wand for Summoning Necro. Can't get that, pretty much you could find any Necro that could help you, or any Necro wand that could help you out at a vendor, or something you find, just plus the skills pretty much overall. For Helmet, I have a Shackle. Gives +2 skills. Once again, it gives life. Overall, Shackle is probably the best thing to put on Summoning Necro, just because overall everything it gives you is really good. I put a jaw on it, obviously for reduced damage, but overall the Shackle is the best thing. If you can't get a Shackle, it's plus the skills and resistances. Those are the top 2 things you'd want. Summoning Necro doesn't really care too much about a faster cast, but it can benefit from it, but it doesn't really, it's not a must. For the Maras, for the amulet we got Maras, but you could do magic +2 to summoning, +3 to summoning, resistances, stuff like that. Very cheap stuff, but overall I have Maras, which is the best in slot kind of situation. For the shield, we have a Spirit Monarch. Like I said earlier, it's a very cheap shield. It gives very cheap Rune Word. It gives everything you need and everything you want. There's no reason not to have a Spirit Monarch, even in the end game items. For my armor, I have an Enigma. Stealth. If you're leveling up, stealth. The reason Enigma is the best thing overall over anything else like Chains of Honor or anything like that is because as you teleport, you reposition all your summons onto something. So let's just say you're fighting an Ubers or boss, Baal, Mephisto, Diablo. You teleport right on top of them, and then all your summons are right on top of them, and they do all the damage they can do to the one target you teleported on. it's just Enigma is just really good for positioning and kind of controlling your summons. The bad thing about summoning is you kind of don't get to control everything. Enigma kind of allows you to do that. It gives you the ability to kind of control where all that damage and shield is going. We have Trangs for the gloves because we do our other thing besides summoning things is going to be cursing things so that our summons do more damage. Trangs is really good. If you don't have Trangs, get something resistances and pretty much resistances and stats, defense, all that stuff like that. For rings, I would have to say if you can't get an SOJ right away, resistances plus the stats, those are pretty much your go-to for leveling up, especially with a summoning necro, as you kind of just want to stay alive. That's your whole point. Your summons will do everything else. For belts, can't get arachnids. Again, summon, get resistances, defense. That's pretty much it as far as the belt. You want to be able to carry as much as you can, so get a belt that can carry more potions. Rings we already talked about, and then for boots, Mara Walk is really good. It gives plus to skeleton mastery, faster walk and run, strength. If you can't get a Mara Walk, it's pretty much anything else that is going to give you faster walk. Stats and resistances are your best next in slot as far as leveling up. Now for your mercenary, the big thing that helps out Summoning Necro is auras, right? That's why we have Beast on our main slot. So for our mercenary, we have a Fortitude on the armor. And then for late game, best in slot kind of situation, we have an Andy's Helm. You could do Viper Magi. You could do, not Viper Magi, you could do Vampire Gaze, you could do Crown of Thieves, pretty much any helmet that's going to give him Life Leech overall. The best situation to put on him for the weapon is going to be a Pride, because it gives you Concentration Aura, which that will go towards all of your summons. And this Necro also is because you don't want a Frozen Aura situation, because you don't want to freeze everything and then they explode and you're not able to Corpse Explosion or summon anything, right? Because it's all gone. You want him to be a Might. You want him to be a Might Aura. That also, once again, gives all your summons Might. Then you got your summons all getting Concentration and Fanaticism. It's just an amazing overall thing. Obedience is the next in slot as far as if you can't get. I don't have one here apparently. Oh wait, I do. Obedience is next in slot. It's just better to keep him alive, pretty much. If you can't get a Pride, you get an Obedience. It's cheap and it's the best kind of next in slot situation. Now, as far as skill tree, we're going to talk about curses first. So curses, you're going to do one into everything from the middle on to the right. So the reason being is, well, amplify damage is your big thing that's going to help all your summons out, but overall everything else will help either your party or situational kind of situations. For poison and bone, you're going to max out Corpse Explosion. It's overall an amazing skill to help you kind of like get the room away if you're doing cows or doing anything else that has a lot of mobs. You would do Corpse Explosion, is, you know, obviously after you have a decent amount of your summons up, that way you're not kind of exploding what you need to be able to have meat shields and more damage. As far as summoning, you're going to have max in a skeleton mastery, max in a raised skeleton. You're going to max clay golem, max golem mastery, 1 into summon resist, 1 into blood golem, 1 into iron golem, and then you're going to have 10 into revive, 1 into raised skeleton mage. The reason for the maxing of clay golem is it kind of helps you get more bodies out there without needing bodies to be able to do damage to kill things, and obviously blood and iron kind of help overall, and clay kind of is a synergy for those overall to help these other two kind of be able to hit everything that they have, right? If you're leveling up, it's going to look like you're going to do 1 into raised skeleton, 1 into skeleton mastery, go over to curses, you do 1 into amplify damage, and then from there you're going to max out your skeleton, raised skeleton, and then as you level up, you're kind of going to go down this tree till you get revive, and then you make sure, obviously 1 into this, 1 into revive, then you max out raised skeleton, max out skeleton mastery, kind of leave amplify damage at where it's at, because it's going to help you for what you need specifically. Maybe get a couple into corpse explosion to help you out, but overall you're gonna max skeleton mastery, raise skeleton, and revive. You're gonna put 10 into that, and that's where you kind of like your main things you're gonna do off the bat, and then you can max out your clay golem and all that after that. Alright, so what does it look like when you're starting off and you don't have any of your summons and you just have your mercenary? So first off, you're going to get your golem out there to help out, and then you're gonna do your amplify damage to while they kill things so you could get skeletons and all that out there. Now, the big thing about Necro is that picking and choosing what you revive is kind of why you're able to be a niche all can do it all kind of character. Now, if you were going to run into doing Ubers, you would want to revive all Maulers. The reason being is they have crushing blow and they stun. So overall, Maulers are the best situation to revive a whole bunch of them, and then you could do Ubers pretty much with ease. But let's just go into what this looks like going into this. These are the Maulers that I was talking about, you guys. When they don't explode like that. Oh my gosh. Never mind, we're not gonna get any. You can tell we have Might Aura on. I guess let's just revive some of these guys here. Help us out overall. Revive everything with Skeleton Mastery, not revive, sorry. Obviously you need your summons to be on top of things, you just do that, and then bam. Get a lot of skeletons. Got a Mauler, we revived that. Gonna continue. Get things, you teleport in situations. Gonna keep going, get all your summons, as you can tell. See how the corpse explosion kind of killed everything in the room. And then, kind of, you know, if you have a decent amount, you kind of go towards the boss, teleport on top of them, weaken them. And Crushing Blow will kind of do the damage if you have the Maulers and everything else, and they're gone.